Hello, everyone. Welcome back to Soccer Showdown. Joe Archino and Martino Puccio here with you as always. In kicking things off this week, we have a big retirement in the world of international football, and that is Andrea Pirlo. 22 years of excellent play we have seen from this transcendent superstar. Martino, you are an AC Milan guy, so you certainly know his career well. He certainly went to Juventus, had some success there. We've recently had the pleasure of seeing him at NYCFC. So I kind of want to talk about his career a little bit in general. Your initial thoughts when you look back at the 22 years of play that we've been able and been lucky enough to watch this guy.
Yeah, he's definitely the best center mid I think that Italy has ever had, probably AC Milan's ever had. I mean, you just go look at it. Almost every single big game that he's been a part of, he stepped up and played big time. I mean, that 2006 World Cup final, there's always that famous quote that he said that he woke up, just played some PlayStation, and then at night he won the World Cup. So I think that really sums him up. I mean, the whole aura around him with the whole Pirlo, not impressed. A lot of people remember him towards the latter of his career when he was just the beard and he was just that guy who's just, just incredible at what he did. He rejuvenated Juve. I mean, they were nothing before that. They were coming out of the Calciopoli scandal, and they really need someone to reinvigorate them along with Conte. I mean, he really bolstered them to see what they are now. And then at Milan, what can you say? I mean, he's won 2 Champions League, multiple Serie A titles, I mean, a Club World Cup as well. And then he won the World Cup with Italy too. And then even in 2012. That Euros, he was the best player by far in that tournament. Unfortunately, Italy didn't win that, but I mean, just free kicks, playmaking ability, long passes, short passes, knowing where to be, and he proved that you don't need to be the greatest athlete to be a great player. And I think that should resonate with a lot of people who want to get into the sport. You don't need to be that. You need to be smart too. So I think you take that into account, and he's just one of the best players I've ever seen for sure.
He's done just about everything. Like you mentioned his resume with the Italian national team, what he did with AC Milan, what he did with Juventus. We won't really mention the NYCFC stuff. He played great there, but again, that was towards the back end. But how do you think he'll be remembered? Again, this is a guy who did something just about everywhere, at the club level, at the international level. Where or in what sense do you think he'll be remembered best by?
I think the lasting memory of him is probably just going to be that penalty against England when he scored on Joe Hart. I think that's the lasting image I can think of, or even the pass to Grosso against Germany in the semifinal. I mean, that's just his finest moment in my eyes. I mean, just no one sees what he sees. And it was incredible how you just see Grosso running down towards the corner of the box, and he just sends it in at the perfect touch, and Grosso curls it in the corner, and then it's just one of the biggest upsets you'll see. I just think he's just the greatest midfielder Italy's ever had, probably the best midfielder Milan's ever had, and honestly, I think it was just a joy to watch him, so I could thank him for giving all the joy that I had as a fan.
Andrea Pirlo, they called him the magician, and Italy is going to be looking for some magic themselves. Massive matches underway, which have incredible World Cup implications to them. Martino, they got Sweden coming up in a World Cup qualifier. They need to be in the World Cup. We've already talked so much about the USA and what it meant for them not making it to the World Cup. But for you, what do you think Italy has to do here? Do you think they're in a strong position to win here?
Yeah, I think so. I think it's really fair to say that they're the favorites going into this. I mean, they have the talent. Everyone knows they have the talent. It's all about Ventura selecting the correct 11 to put in there. But there's already rumors of him not starting Insigne for that, but they gave him the number 10 jersey. I mean, these are just rumors at this point. We don't know what the lineup's going to be, but, I mean, that's totally not what you want, right? I mean, there's a lot of reputations on the line here. Verratti has to play better internationally. He was the heir to Pirlo, and we've yet to see that on the international level. This is Buffon's last go-around as well, and for him not to potentially make the World Cup is catastrophic. We talk about the U.S. not making it. Italy not making it is even more catastrophic considering how they played in the past 2 World Cups. But they go back Monday to the San Siro for the final leg of this matchup. I think they're going to be able to get through, but man, I don't think I'm as confident as I should be.
I do want to go back to a point you mentioned because you did say, there's a big difference between, even though Team USA hurt badly and there was a lot of outlash and support and just people just not happy with how things went down, it's not our sport here. It's not. In Italy, it's what they live and breathe. So what are the implications if they lose? And again, there certainly hasn't been the best patch. Italy still fields tremendous amount of talent. They still have a unique brand of football that only they play. But I think that there are other people, not just you, who are worried about it. What would the implications be if things did not go their way during these next games?
Oh, people are going to lose their jobs, that's for sure. And that's going to start with Ventura, because playing 2 midfielders against Spain, we talked about in qualifiers, it's just stupid. I mean, there's no other word to use for it, and it just didn't make any sense. And you know what? I don't think it's going to be a total recall like the U.S. is doing with a top to bottom, but there's going to be reevaluations because, I mean, look at it. There's certain players that are not being selected as well. I mean, is Balotelli really worse than some of the guys like Gabbiadini? I mean, what is he doing in the Premier? I don't think he's worthy of that. And just even Jovinko in the MLS too. I mean, it doesn't make a lot of sense. I think they just need to figure out who should be playing rather than going off of history or past experience. Andrea Barzagli, for me, he shouldn't be on the World Cup roster come June. I don't even think he should be starting tomorrow. Get the younger guys up and in there. I mean, it's a transitional phase because there's high expectations come 2022 when the World Cup's in Qatar because they have a nice young core coming up. So I think they need to get them the experience now. But man, I mean, it would be a disaster if they didn't make it, especially after those past 2 World Cups.
Andrea Pirlo, he hangs it up. Italy with a massive match. That is all we have for you on this episode of Soccer Showdown. As always, everyone, thank you for listening. Joe Archino and Martino Puccio. We'll catch everybody in the next episode.